Disclaimer, Jim does have Tourette's, so please excuse any obscenities or bad language.
I'm actually going to add a second disclaimer here. Guys, you have to apologise in this video if I seem a bit lacklustre. Hopefully it becomes clear with the story at the end. But yeah, it's been a bit of a stressful one and I'm very tired and very medicated. So I was watching and editing the footage back. I thought, oh, Jim, you don't seem 100% happy. So I wanted to put a little disclaimer. I'm happy on the inside, guys, just a bit tired.
Grisso.
Well, welcome back.
I'm Lou.
And I'm Jim, and we are Fields and Flocks. We had a crazy experience this week with our pigs, and so we're going to tell you all about that at the end. But in the meantime, this is what's coming up in today's episode. And we've given them a deal tonight because it's onion planting. We actually had quite high fatalities. So there's loads of things we're now going to do with the peppers. Ellie, a big investment.
Fun little fact for you is it...
Not got any spares.
Have we not got any spares? What if this goes wrong?
In this first part, we've been doing all sorts of odd jobs. This time of year, as most of you who are doing this will know, and if you are planning to do this, you should know, but this time of year is a lot of sorting stuff out ready for winter.
Yeah.
And preparing everything. Some of you may have noticed behind me we actually had the meadow mown, so it's been about a week now.
A little bit late really, wasn't it? We should have, every year we seem to, by the time we get it organised, it's probably a bit later than we should have, because it, as you all know, we've had a good year weather-wise this year. It was ready probably even earlier, wasn't it?
The thing with the meadow is, the last 2 years, we've just mulched it. But next year we're going to collect all the hay to make loads of compost. So we've got plans to incorporate it, because we had read, after we'd done this, right, you guys who have followed us for a while will know that we love the orchids in this meadow and they don't like being fertilised. So now this is the second year of mulch and we've just read that that could start being harmful. So we're definitely not going to do it. So we were thinking of little ways to get it done, and we thought we could use, because there's so many species in this, species of grass,
the
plants.
Diversity is actually really beneficial to make great compost, so it will benefit the orchids, but actually it should give us really top quality compost in the long run. Yeah,
so it's a no-brainer, and next year we're going to do that. Not sure if we'll try and get somebody who can do little bales, or we'll just try and rake it all up, so not really sure at the moment.
It's a big job breaking it up though, isn't it?
So maybe a baler might be worth the time. What else? Oh, the yearly deep clean of the chicken coops, where obviously you clean them out from time to time, but we do one big deep clean every year.
We do the deep litter method, don't we? Again, for the compost, really, isn't it?
Yeah. So, like, you know, you just chuck new bedding on for a lot of the season, and then you just scrape that out when it gets too high near the bars, and then you do it again. But so we only really spray the coops out once a year, don't we?
Yeah, it's a big job, but then it's once a year, so it's kind of weighing up. Do you do a little one often, or do you do one big one a year? Yeah. Which it works well. If you like your compost, it's definitely worth it. We think, don't we? Because it's it adds so much to your compost.
It's really good way of getting nutrients and microbes and all that good stuff into your soil by using that like thick layer of compost.
It's all the bits like as it decomposes, it's actually good for the chickens, isn't it?
Yeah,
it does
there are some
good
studies
bacteria.
that like chicks that are born in a sterile environment go on to be less healthy chickens, and ones that are born in a natural microbe environment actually tend to be more healthy adults. So there's interesting research on it. We certainly find it easier for us, and it makes, you know, just putting in the bedding every day. When we first got the coops, we done weekly cleans, and we actually had quite high fatalities that year, didn't we?
We did, thinking about it, yeah.
We tried to keep the coops as sterile as possible, but we've found going this way has worked better for the flock. The flock do seem to be healthier.
Yeah, they are a healthy flock, yeah.
And so, yeah, definitely works for us.
It's also that time of year where we have been planting next year's onions.
And this is crazy because we bought the same amount as last year, but they must have been slightly bigger bulbs because they were done in weights, not bulbs. And last year we covered vast amounts of beds, so this year we've only covered a little bit.
We put them in and we were like, oh, that's not going to feed us for long.
No, so we're ordering more and we're going to have to do a second planting. But it's okay because we rope the kids in. So. We've just got back from getting the kids from school, and we've given them a deal tonight because it's onion planting day. So we've given them a deal. Every onion they plant, they get 1 minute on screen time. So, yeah, hopefully we're going to get it all done. We've got hundreds to plant and it's about 4 o'clock. We've still got to cook dinner, but no rest for the wicked. Boom!
Next up is the Montage, which is a little bit late this time. However, yeah, it's kind of end of September, early October. Autumn has
begun.
Autumn has arrived.
Montage. Brand new ongoing segment in the vlogs on the flower farm. Self-explanatory really, but we thought as we go through it'd be nice to keep it in a section because we're going to be doing a lot of work in there.
There's going to be a lot of stuff to show you guys, so we thought we'd make a whole section to kind of keep it tidy, I suppose.
And with some really exciting news on the flower farm as well is we did briefly mention we were looking at ways of solving our pig problem with the deep mud and it being a bit dangerous for me to come in, and one of those ways was get a livestock shelter polytunnel over the top so that we could manage how much water was in the pen at any time and the rain wouldn't be getting it as soggy and sodden as it is now.
Yeah.
But when we were looking at it, we actually thought we'd get a bigger polytunnel, a bit wider one, and have half of it for the pigs and for sheep when we actually eventually get the sheep that we want to get, and the other half would be for racking and staging for
Seedlings.
The flower farm.
Yeah.
And so that's really exciting. It's a fairly big investment. Not a huge investment, it's cheaper than other options, but it is a big investment, and yeah, it's exciting, nerve-wracking, but a big change and a big commitment that we've made.
Yeah, it's when we're adding up how many plants we need to plant, it's crazy amounts, but you need somewhere to put them. So we thought, ideally, if you've just got one long stretch of racking with several layers, then...
Well, the choice that we had before us, right, guys, was do we sacrifice growing space of vegetables, but we're trying to grow our own food, and so we've got to probably make more beds over there, not less. So taking it up for the flowers would mean we wouldn't get to make our own.
And you soon fill the beds with flowers, don't you?
And so the only option was really to get another one, and we had been umming and ahhing where we could potentially put one. And so we thought this was a combination of two things.
Yeah, you're essentially collating three things that we probably always need to do, but in one area.
Yeah.
Because we always wanted to get the sheep, and then we can, you know, once we get the milking sheep, we can do a milking station undercover, so it covers all the weather situations.
We've got the pigs, and that's a safety issue for me, as well as an animal welfare issue for the pigs. You don't want them, like pigs love mud, but you don't want them in it all day, every day.
It's too much, isn't it?
Yeah, and then the flowers as well. Like, it'll obviously only be a racking in there. It is an animal shelter, so it'll see how it works, but
racking doesn't take up that much space, and it's kind of sheltered. It will keep a little bit more warmth in, and it's somewhere just to overwinter everything, isn't it? So it's kind of you can have it all in the one place rather than have. I think otherwise we'd end up with bits scattered all over everywhere, and it could end up getting messy, wouldn't it?
And more work. Like if you, you know, if you're going down there, you know what you're going down there for.
Yeah.
You have to be dotting around everywhere. So it's just nicer and tidier.
Yeah, efficient.
So that's the first bit of news. And the second one is another investment, and it's a bit scary because this is our plan, right? We'll give it to you for free of charge. Our plan is we've bought £600 worth of tulip bulbs, so that's about 1,000 bulbs, maybe more.
I think it's more, yeah.
And we are hoping that £600 might make us profit, might not, but we'll keep you along for the journey. But what we are hoping it does is we can take these beautiful tulips and we can drop them into hotels, businesses, florists, and get our name out there for next season, so people have got our business cards, they've got our beautiful flowers in their mind, and they might think...
Building a customer base, really, more than anything.
So that was an investment more in marketing, we think, than flowers, because the investment for flowers has been the seeds, which is another thing we've spent loads of money on. We've worked out we've been measuring the beds, we've been measuring the spaces between
We've
bits.
tried to plan it all properly, so we've kind of, I mean, you've got spreadsheets and all sorts, haven't you?
Yeah,
just to make sure, because one problem obviously that everyone who grows tackles, it's weeds, so we're trying to do like more of a high intensity growing on the beds in hope that it will help with the weeds, it will help pack in more flowers. You've been watching loads of videos, haven't we? And plants that you'd normally plant, say 12 inches apart, people say actually we get really good production on 9 inches, so you can get an extra row or two in. We're trying to sort of just really put a plan in place, and then when it comes to, I suppose, crunch time and everything's going out, we know exactly what we're doing and where it's going. So we've planned even what flowers are going in what beds, haven't we?
Like, you know, it's good to be organised when you're dealing with such vast numbers, because we didn't know what seeds we needed, so we got a rough. It was me and Lou have been working every day. It's funny because our son Theo come down. He's like, you guys are always working. If he ever comes down now, we're just sitting at the computer, just working, heads in spreadsheets. But yes, you know, hopefully it'll pay off. Hopefully we'll get. We don't want to be mega farmers. We don't want to be a mega flower farm. We just want, you know, enough money to earn a living, really, isn't it?
Yeah, we're not looking to earn massive amounts of money, are we? It's just to get by in life, really.
And so it's exciting, but it's another investment, and it's another big change for us, really, because since my car crash and me kind of becoming disabled, it's I haven't been able to go to work, and I'd never be able to have a conventional job. But in my own garden, with Lou with me at all times, it's different.
Well, we can do it together. I can keep an eye on you, and we both like being outside. I've always had a bit of a love.
I've got such a thing for dahlias.
You've grown, you've grown
so
enough
much
for flowers over the years, but just recently you've fallen in love with dahlias,
and
haven't you?
That goes on to our next section in the flower garden. Was the last flowers of the season, dahlias. They've started really coming into their own throughout September. We were really actually pleasantly surprised, because
when they were the term, we actually, because they're in pots at the minute, they probably need to be in bigger pots, but we thought pots is good because we started them in the polytunnels, didn't we? Then we moved them outside when it got too hot, and now the weather's cold, we've moved them back inside, and they flourished, didn't they? They've absolutely really flourished.
So we're thinking pots, we can have them all out the back there, which is kind of protected, and then we'll be able to move them inside when the weather changes.
Extend the season a little bit.
Yeah, it's been really good learning these. Been really lucky that we've been able to do this over the last few years. Learn the natural rhythms of the plants, because at the end of the day, like, we've never done any of it. We've not got any experience.
No.
We've just got a bit of a passion, and I think that's all you need. And
well, it is, yeah.
And so dahlias have been absolutely beautiful. And the last thing, it feels like we've got so much that's been going on in there. We've been weeding. Check this out. A long overdue job here has been to sort out this bed. Next year we're going to be doing this every day, so hopefully the weeds will never get as bad. But it's been a bit neglected, so we're going to get our gloves on, get weeding. Yay!
Turn it from a weed garden to a flower garden.
Yeah. We're going to have to stop it there because it started raining and the camera ain't waterproof. We've done most of it, guys. Got a little bit up the top there still to do. It was hard work, it took us all day. Compost is well and truly full. Just got a little bit more to do, and then we'll be making more beds where Lou is, there, and on the side where we've cleared. We're going to cover this space here, right in front of us, this little triangle, because we'll make that for expansion next year. We might do a bed down here next to the path, see how much time we got, but a good day's work, really. The real last thing of this section is Lou done. Do you want to explain, or do you explain in the clip?
What's this, Lou, in the kitchen?
No, in that garden, in the flower garden where we've done all the cover crops.
So really where we've put all the new beds in, you don't want the beds exposed because the nutrients in the soil will deplete and obviously weeds will just take over. So I've been doing lots of YouTube research, and
Why are you doing YouTube research?
because it's not like, I think it's proper research, but it's
Yeah,
not like
it is,
books, is it? It's
no,
like
it's not books. Yeah.
anyway, it's yeah. So I've got. And I think I do explain in the video, but we've basically got cover crops which should cover the beds and put nutrients in, but I do explain it. Today is the day I finally get to sow my cover crop in the secret garden. Now on the beds themselves, I am beginning with Phacelia. Now, this is the first time I've done a cover crop. I'm new to it, so it's a little bit of trial and error this year. But Phacelia, I'm going to sow it now. It grows quite fast, up to about 1 metre tall, and it will overwinter if it doesn't get too cold. Now here in West Wales, we do tend to be a little bit more of a temperate climate, so I'm hoping that it will overwinter well. It is ultimately a nitrogen holder, so I will grow this over the winter, and then before it flowers, I will cut it down, lay it over the beds, and let it compost down where it will support my compost. It is really good at improving the soil structure and helping to build a good structure in the soil, aerate it, which is ultimately what we're aiming for, is to really get a good soil structure down. So I'm going to give it a go. It's also apparently really nice smelling. Bees love it. So if I've got seed left, I'm going to try down the bottom by the bees on the banks, sowing some that I'm going to let go to flower, because not only do the bees love it, it's apparently also quite a good cut flower in springtime, so it's going to give me something else to use when there's not much else around. And a fun little fact for you is it is also one of the top 20 honey producing flowers. Paths in between each of my beds, I am going to try crimson clover. This one is actually a nitrogen fixer. So Phacelia is a nitrogen holder. This is a nitrogen fixer. This also has deep roots which help penetrate the soil to improve your soil structure. They're both Phacelia and crimson clover are good weed suppressants, which is the main thing I'm trying to aim here, is it's the nutrients and the weed suppressants for over the winter and the start of spring. But also, I do like clover. We get a little bit by the new pollies, and I always think it looks nice. But also the crimson clover, if I do let the odd patch come to flower, it's another thing that I can dry and use for cut flowers and arrangements. But also the bees love it. We do get the small white clover all over the grass, and yeah, it's another one of those things that I'm hoping will be a bit of an all-round win. But ultimately it is a test, so we'll see how it goes. But I'm hoping it works, because if it does, it saves me buying a hell of a load of bark, really. That's my main thoughts behind it, so we'll see.
Already popped up. It's barely been a few days, but yeah, clover pathways. We are in the polytunnel, guys, and we are picking the last of the tomatoes and peppers of the season. It's been actually a surprisingly okay season, hasn't it? Because we earlier on
They weren't doing so well.
no, especially the ones down this side on the smaller beds. They've still not done great. Some of the ones at the back have done better than the ones at the front. But these beds are very lush. The peppers have actually done alright. The tomatoes have done alright.
We did a lot of, my dad did a lot of treatment and picking off any sort of dodgy looking leaves. I think it has paid off, hasn't it? They have, because they do have quite a long season. I think if you ever have anything like that, don't just give up on them, because they are quite resilient. We're not sure with the beds though, in between the strawberries, none of the ones in the strawberries have done very well, and we don't know if that's because they're competing for like the space, but then we thought after so long they'd go past where the strawberries are. We don't know. We don't know why the ones in the strawberry beds haven't done. They've not done well at all. They're just not getting big, are they?
And the only other problem that we've come to around for them harvesting so late, we're pulling off a lot of tomatoes, but some of them have got this, I'd say rot, but it's not rot, it's like rock hard. And you can cut it off and still use them in sauces and stuff, so it's not too bad. But we have had a few of them, but I'm going to feed them to the chickens because we've got plenty to pick. But we're going to turn the camera off, so we're not going to show you any picking, but we will show you the tomatoes at the end because we're going to play the Alexa, aren't we? Right, see you in a bit. Right, we've had a great haul, guys. Loads of tomatoes. We're going to go inside, loads of peppers, and process them up. So there's loads of things we're now going to do with the peppers. Too many to put in this episode. But in this episode, in the kitchen with Lou, she's going to make you a really delicious way to store, or show you a really delicious way to store these tomatoes. We've actually had them last a year in the fridge, stored like this. So I think it's absolutely wonderful, and it will spice up any dish in the winter, coming months. You know what I mean? Boom! Yeah.
You will need salt, oil, a bowl of tomatoes, chili flakes, and a jar. So take your jar. Simply fill it with your tomatoes. Now the one thing I would say is to get tomatoes which are not cracked or blemished if you can. What tomatoes you use does not matter. As long as they're kind of eating tomatoes, not passata tomatoes. We'll do that in another video. Any tomatoes are absolutely fine. Squish them in, not too tight, but tight enough so they would kind of reach the top and be relatively compact.
Tight like your pussy! Lee, sorry, I'm just really trying to hold that in, guys.
I'm just going to check to see. Yeah, that's good. I might just take. Oh, that's fine because they'll settle a bit. Now, I like to put a sprinkling of chili flakes. My mum has done basil before, but we found you were a little bit limited with what you could use it on because of the basil taste. So this year we're simply doing chili flakes, so we can use it in any dish, pasta sauce, pizza sauce, whatever you want to do. Pinch of chili flakes. Pinch of salt. And then you top up with olive oil. Now we need to can these just to help them preserve. Now I find the easiest way is in a big stock pot on a low heat. You pop them in the stock pot, cover them with water so the lid of the jar is covered. Bring it to the boil slowly, and then once it's boiling, boil it for half an hour, at which point this would have sucked in all the air and should keep for, as we found, a good year. So the most important thing here is that you pack the tomatoes in as tight as you can. The olive oil, it varies how much you use depending on your jar and how many tomatoes you can get in there, but ultimately the oil needs to go to the top of the jar, so pack them in as tight as you can to save your olive oil. I would say it's quite important, if you can, to use an extra virgin good quality olive oil because it does make a lot of difference. But you can put anything in there, you can experiment. It's a really quite fun thing to do. The kids can help. As I say, we've got chili flakes in ours this time just so we can put it in any dish, but you could add different herbs, spices, mustard seeds. Yeah, it's really quite fun and you can do lots of different things. So I would definitely say give it a try.
This section is a good story. It's the one I teased at the start. And if you've got this far in the video, please hit the like, leave us a comment, and maybe share it with a friend. And subscribe if you're not subscribed. Oh, and now you can hype the video. Did you know about that?
No, what's that?
Yeah, I saw it. I don't know if it's on everybody's account yet, but apparently if people hype your video, it's more likely to be shown to more people.
Oh, okay.
But I've never been able to work it out. I don't know if it's only on certain accounts or something. But yeah, so I was only joking about that bit. But yes, the story. We have had a palaver with the pigs. We had the pigs booked in Saturday the 11th of October. And on Wednesday the 2nd, or whatever the Wednesday was that week, we got a phone call from the gentleman who was booked in, and his gun unfortunately wasn't working, and he had sent it off and it didn't pass its yearly
MOT or service.
basically for it, so he couldn't come and do it. So he said that he was working in the abattoir down the road from us, or not to, 20 minutes away or so, and that he could get us an appointment on the Monday, just gone, the 5th or 6th, and so we thought, okay, we'll take this up, but there was a few things that we needed to do in order to be able to move the pigs, and one of them was to get ear tags. Now the ear tags have to have your pig herd number on them, and so we rushed about, didn't we, frantically looking where we could get them next day.
And that was quite easy really, because they do emergency ones, don't they? So
yeah.
the paperwork side and getting the ear tags actually was quite easy. We got the applicator, that was easy.
And but when I was rushing it, because we didn't have much time, I didn't know that it would be easy or that they could do that in certain situations. I ordered 2 with no spares. And so
it was only when they arrived, isn't it? I was just like,
have you not got any spares?
Have we not got any spares? What if this goes wrong?
And I was like not wanting to hear it. I was like, it's not going to go wrong. And so then it was all set, and we had them booked in, but we couldn't get them there. So Lou managed to get her friend to she managed to get a trailer, and we'd managed to arrange it out. So we'd come across all these obstacles and all these bumps and bangs and problems, and in the end we had solved it. And it was the Sunday, they were supposed to be going on the Monday, and we were due to do the ear tags. So we get some neighbours round, because we did have to think of safety first, didn't we?
Well, yeah, because you have to get in with Jim in the mud and everything. I mean, the neighbour's been helping, so Jim doesn't have to go in. So he went in with you in case anything happened. Me and the neighbour's friend was also there. The first one went really well, didn't it? It was good. That's it. Well done. It went in quick, but the issue really is that because they're older pigs, their ears are so thick, so it took a lot of force, didn't it?
I wasn't expecting the amount of force it took, but it went in fine, and I think it gave me I was so focused on that first one, doing it right. I double checked everything, because it went in so easily.
Yeah, we weren't quite.
It gave me that false sense of security.
Yeah.
In the second one, I obviously must have not put it in the machine properly, like the tagger. So when I've put it through the second one's ear, it didn't make the final click, even when I could feel that it was all the way in. And what I'd done is the pin had come out of the side, and in essence the ear tag had failed. So basically all hope was lost at that point.
Yeah, we tried once more.
It didn't go in, and then I become overwhelmed. My neurological problems start playing up. I tried to get out because I could feel a seizure coming on. And in getting out, I lose me welly.
Your welly gets stuck in the mud.
And then
I put your bare foot straight in the mud.
I fall over to have a seizure. And luckily, because my neighbour's in there, he grabs me, and I only go like halfway in. It was gross. We managed to get out, and then the panic didn't disperse, so we rang the guy, the slaughterman, and he basically told us that if you don't have an ear tag, the animal is condemned at the slaughterhouse, and they wouldn't be able to process it. And he said, but the slaughterhouse will take an empty one if you're able to write on it.
You could find a blank tag and just write your number on it, that was fine. But the issue is that no one really has blank tags, because you get them with your number on. And it being a Sunday, had it not been a Sunday, it would have been fine, because you can go to shops and get emergency ones. But we had to have the pigs at the abattoir between 6 and 8 in the morning, and the only place you could get one from didn't open till 9. So it was just on the worst day, because it's a Sunday, everywhere's shut. So we then come to the conclusion this isn't going to work, and then we come to the conclusion that because afterwards you'd had a really bad seizure and were out for a long time, that this is why we wanted to do it at home, is to prevent all of this.
All of this stress. And so then basically loads of people rallied around us, and we've ended up being able to get, the slaughterman's got a gun, and he's going to come and do it on the
He's doing it
Saturday
this
as it
weekend,
was
isn't it?
originally planned. But it was, I hadn't thought, and doing it again, I'd definitely do the slap mark rather than the ear tag.
Well, I'm not sure. I think ultimately, I think what we needed to do, because we didn't do the ear tags or anything because they were being processed at home, in which case you don't need them. But in hindsight, I think next time we tagged them as piglets, which would be a hell of a lot easier. It wouldn't really be a problem. Because they're young, their ears are softer, you can get the applicator through easier, and they're easier to handle. And then if you need them, they're there. If you don't need them. So I think you either, we just need to, I think, do it from the start. So if anything happens, we're prepared and it's done, and we've not got to deal with it at the last minute. And it's again because they're grown-up adult pigs, it's all much more difficult, isn't it?
Should have also perhaps done the tagging on the Friday. We maybe have had something to sort it out as well. We left it too last minute.
Yeah, but you had read they said do it like midday the day before
yeah,
because
I'd read
pull
they
them
said
out.
24 hours because they can pull them out. But then that gives me even more thought where I'm leaning personally towards a slap mark because they can't pull that off. But I do agree with Lou that even if we're getting it here next time, it's worth just getting it done when they're younger.
When they're young and they're easy to handle.
And it's done, and the ground's let, because it's summer, the ground will be, it's just going to be easier all round, and then you're not going to have these hiccups.
I mean, give them their due. Part of our worry was because they're big pigs and they're boys, you don't know what they're going to be like. They can be fine, they can barely feel it, or they can, they could easily knock you over and it become quite dangerous. But give the pigs their due, because you have stroked them and handled them quite a lot. They were actually fine. They just gave their heads a little shake, and they weren't really bothered by it, were they? They were, because that was part of my worry with you and the neighbour, is that they're such big, powerful pigs. Like, it can easily just go wrong so quickly.
Yeah.
Actually, the pigs were very nice.
Yeah.
But they're all different. You never know.
And they don't, like with the ear tag, I don't think it's as painful as for them as getting an electric shock from the fence, to be honest, because they make a much worse noise when they get that electric shock than they do with the ear. It's more just a.
It's just like us getting our ear pierced, really, isn't it?
Yeah. So. Yeah, interesting.
A lot of lessons were learned, I think.
And I'm sure there's going to be even more lessons learned this coming Saturday. So make sure you tune in over the next few weeks, where we'll be bringing you exactly what happened. We'll probably do it as its own video rather than a vlog, and it might be next week. So do stay tuned and hit the subscribe if you're not subscribed, like, jazz, all that stuff. I've already said all that. But yeah, I've been Jim.
I'm Lou.
I'll see you in the next one.